Hello and welcome to FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. The Greensboro Urban Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, is now accepting applications for projects that seek federal funding under Section 5310, Enhanced Mobility for Seniors and Individuals with Disabilities. Local government agencies and nonprofits may submit projects for possible funding by 5 p.m. on Friday, May 5th. An estimated $211,000 in grant funding is available for eligible transit capital and/or operating projects as identified in the MPO's adopted Coordinated Human Services Transportation Plan. Projects and services must operate in whole or as part of the Greensboro urban area, which includes the city of Greensboro and the towns of Oak Ridge, Pleasant Garden, Sedalia, Stokesdale, and Summerfield. The grant application and project eligibility information are available online. For more information or to request a copy of the grant, please call 336-373-2903. Greensboro, along with the cities of High Point and Burlington, Guilford County, UNC Greensboro, North Carolina A&T State University, and Piedmont Triad Regional Council have named North State as its preferred vendor to initiate discussions about regional high-speed broadband efforts. This collaboration, known as Tri-Gig, is to encourage the development of high-speed broadband networks to meet the technological needs of current and future businesses, educational institutions, healthcare, and residents. A primary goal of the Tri-Gig initiative is to leverage existing assets such as fiber optic lines and create additional assets to assist internet service providers with building and deploying high-speed broadband networks in Greensboro and surrounding areas. Participatory budgeting, or PB, is a democratic process allowing residents to decide how to spend $500,000 of your taxpayer dollars. Cycle 2 will identify projects to be funded in the 2018-19 fiscal year. The city's PB process relies heavily on volunteers to canvass the community and collect ideas for projects. If you missed the PB collection sharing idea meetings in April, additional idea collection meetings will be hosted at convenient locations throughout the city, such as libraries, recreation centers, neighborhood association meetings, and community events. Many of the projects from Cycle 1 are either in the planning and design phase or have already been completed, to include a new bus shelter at West Vandalia Road and Lakefield Drive, a traffic turn lane at Randleman Road and Glendale Drive, and a crosswalk at Howard and Spring Garden Streets. Please contact the PB Outreach Coordinator to request materials and an idea collection box for your next community event. The Greensboro Fire Department began its annual fire hydrant testing on April 1st and will continue this operation through May 15th. All city hydrants will be tested to ensure they are operable and able to produce the required water pressure and flow when needed. Because this testing must be done during normal operating hours, it will not be possible to know in advance where or when the testing will take place in any specific area. Opening hydrants can sometimes cause a temporary discoloration of water in nearby homes. The discoloration is not harmful in any way and can be cleared up by running the water for a few minutes. If you observe a hydrant that is out of service or experiencing problems, please contact the City of Greensboro Water Department at 336-373-2033. This kind of testing not only ensures the protection of our residents, it also serves as an evaluation indicator used by the ISO, Insurance Services Office, which rates cities according to the fire protection they offer. The ISO rating resulted in the Greensboro Fire Department being elevated to a Class 1 protection rating, the best rating possible. Greensboro has maintained this top rating since 1992. The city of Greensboro is hosting a Youth City Academy this summer. The program brings high school students together to learn about city programs and services available to them and the community. The 2017 Youth City Academy includes 4 sessions, with each class held on Thursdays from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. on June 29th, July 13th, July 20th, and July 27th. Applications are being accepted from students who will be rising 9th through 12th graders as of August 1st. Students must live within the Greensboro city limits. Applications are due on May 15th, but students should apply early as space is limited. Participants will be selected from each of the 5 city council districts. For more information, please call the Community Relations Office at 336-373-2723. The Greensboro Public Library is inviting the community to cast a vote for a One City, One Book selection. We'll have that and more news coming up after the break. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The City of Greensboro has issued a request for proposal seeking a firm to provide the city with professional services to develop an inclusive, sustainable, and comprehensive master plan that capitalizes, enhances, and supports the arts in Greensboro. The consultant will work closely with the Cultural Arts Task Force, a group that includes members from the arts, business, and education communities. The task force is co-chaired by Jackie Gilliam and City Council member Nancy Hoffman. Ex officio members include Walker Sanders, president of the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro, and Tom Filion, president and CEO of Arts Greensboro. The goal of both the consultant and task force members is to create a Greensboro cultural arts master plan that will serve as a roadmap for sustaining the future viability and vibrance of the arts community. The proposal date is due on 2:00 p.m. on Friday, May 12th. The Greensboro Public Library's popular One City, One Book community read is scheduled to begin this fall. In the meantime, everyone is invited to participate in the selection process by voting for one of 4 books chosen as finalists. Readers can choose from Dime Store by Lee Smith, Hidden Figures by Margaret Lee Shetterly, Take Good Care of the Garden and the Dogs by Heather Lindy, and La Rose by Louise Erdrich. These selections were made after a process that began in the fall of 2016. One City, One Book is a hallmark program that attracts thousands of participants with thoughtful discussions and exciting programming that mirrors the themes found in the selected book. Library Director Bridget Blanton recalls in 2015, the library had more than 7,000 readers participate. She's hoping by involving everyone in the selection process, even more readers will participate in 2017. A committee of library staff and community members reviewed the initial long list of titles, and these books were chosen and then reviewed by an executive committee. The community is now invited to vote for the final selection. You may vote online, and you can also find this link on the library's homepage. Customers can also vote at Greensboro Public Library locations throughout the city. The winning title will be announced in May. The Greensboro Police Department will host a 5K race to honor officers who gave the ultimate sacrifice protecting the people they served. The 28th annual Law Enforcement Memorial 5K will take place on Saturday, May 13th. The race begins at 8:30 a.m. at 100 Police Plaza in downtown Greensboro. Registration is $25 until May 1st. Beginning on May 2nd, registration will be $30. The course winds along the streets of our beautiful city, taking runners through the UNC Greensboro campus and the historic Blandwood area, wrapping up at police headquarters. Prizes will be awarded to the top 3 males and females in each age category. The event is co-sponsored by the Guilford Merchants Association and the Special Olympics of North Carolina. All proceeds benefit Special Olympics of North Carolina. For more information, please call 336-430-6379. Single parents and their children recently attended a 4-hour workshop coordinated by GPD's Office of Community Engagement to inspire them to create a strong, healthy family. The free event called Boys to Men, Girls to Ladies took place at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Greensboro. Families took part in motivational and informative discussions geared towards single parents and children ages 7 to 17. Joe Pope, also known as the best street ball MC, spoke with the boys to motivate them to succeed in life. The girls listened to the personal testimony of Paris Whitsett, a Greensboro resident whose hard work and confidence led her to become a successful business owner. Former City Councilperson Goldie Wells shared a no-nonsense presentation to the parents. Radio personality Busta Brown from 97.1 served as the MC. The Boys to Men, Girls to Ladies workshop supports Chief Wayne Scott's strategy of expanding community outreach efforts to better connect with all Greensboro residents. Operation Bedroll and Greensboro Field Operations Recycling educator Tori Carley have been recognized by 2 industry groups for encouraging local residents to transform non-recyclable plastic bags into sleeping mats for the homeless. The Triad branch of U.S. Green Building Council presented Tori with its Fearless Leader Award for an emerging professional under 30. The Carolina Recycling Association gave Operation Bedroll its 2017 award for an outstanding program increasing recycling awareness. Operation Bedroll taught Greensboro residents that plastic shopping bags cannot be recycled under the city's residential recycling program and encouraged residents to keep those bags out of the landfill by reusing bags to make plastic bed yarn sleeping mats. Over the course of the 6-month project, more than 3,000 residents participated and an estimated 148,000 plastic bags were kept out of the landfill. For more information about how to participate, visit Operation Bedroll on the city's website. Before you take advantage of the warmer weather and get started on your next home improvement project, make sure you have the proper permits. Coming up after the break, we'll talk to a city inspector about what you need to know about permits. Stay with us. Welcome back. Before you embark on your next home improvement project, you'll want to check in with the city's code officials to make sure that your project is a success and you avoid any potential problems that could end up costing you a lot of time and a lot of money. Joining me now to answer some key questions about the permit process is Pat Rose. She's with the city's Engineering and Inspections Department. Pat, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, the weather's warming up. People like to get out to Lowe's and Home Depot and see what's out there in terms of how they can make their houses look better, maybe even get ready to sell their house at some point. Why are we required to obtain a permit before we get these projects underway?
The short answer is because the law requires it. It's not something the city of Greensboro chooses to do. We're mandated by the state to provide inspections. We have to have permits to generate the revenue for inspections. It's a requirement of law. It's not just Greensboro, it's North Carolina.
Okay, good to know. We don't want anybody breaking the law, and a lot of homeowners are not aware that they need a permit. So when are you actually required to obtain the permit?
The permits that we're discussing are building, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Building permits you're required to get if it's structural. If you are going to remodel a room and you're going to take on an exterior wall and you're going to take off the sheetrock on the side of the wall, then you're required to get a building permit because that is structural. That's part of the integrity of that wall. If your work exceeds $15,000, which includes the mechanical, plumbing, electrical work part of that project, you are required to have a permit and inspections. If it exceeds $30,000 and it's not your property, you are required to have a licensed general contractor. Now that's the building. Electrical, if you do anything, as you can, now we're discussing single and 2-family. Okay, this is not commercial buildings, apartment buildings. This is strictly single and 2-family. You are required to get permits if you extend a circuit, if you add wire, move wire, shorten the wire. You are required to have a permit and an inspection. If it's rental property, you're required to be licensed. You don't have to have a permit to change a receptacle, change a light. In rental property, you are required to have an electrical license. If you own your home, you can do whatever you want to. As far as electrical, you are required to have a permit if you do more than just changing out receptacles and lights.
Okay, and you mentioned plumbing?
Plumbing, you can change out a water heater. If it's your home, you don't have to have a permit. If you do more than that, add your water lines, extend water lines, you have to have plumbing. You have to have a plumbing permit. Again, you have to be, if it's rental property, you have to be licensed.
Okay, so you've told us about the different types of permits. Who should be the person going to get the permit?
The permit for the trades, plumbing, mechanical, electrical, are required. And you're not the homeowner. That has to be generated in the city of Greensboro by the licensed contractor, which in most cases is a simple phone call. It's not a time-consuming process. If you need a building permit, a lot of times you'll have sometimes you'll have someone come in and they'll say, well, it's a whole lot easier if you go ahead and you pull the permit. And the permit is required, but they're not required to be licensed. So you, as the homeowner, go down and you get the building permit. Well, that puts you on the hook, okay? We deal with you. We don't deal with the guy you're paying. So it is my suggestion that if you're hiring someone to come in and do some remodeling for you, minor remodeling, have them get the permit.
Okay, so once you get the permit, that's alerting you and your team that at some point this project gets finished, you're going to come out and look at this project.
And anytime, if you've got work going on in your home and you have plumbing or mechanical or electrical that's being covered up, you should see an inspector. If it's new work and you're going to hang sheetrock, an inspector should have been by there to look at it. And if you don't see anyone, then that's a cue to call Downtown Development Services. And first of all, it's public record. You can call or you can go online and look up the address and see what permits are there.
Okay, and initially we were saying you want to do this from the beginning because if not, you come there, inspect it, it doesn't meet the code inspection criteria, you might have to tell the person to start over.
Yes, and you might go to sell your house 5 years from now and the realtor or the private inspector, home inspector picks up on the fact that you had this work done and they go look for the permits. We have people calling us now selling their home and they want to know, well, what do I do about my attic? What do I do about my basement? We finished it. We thought we had permits. We didn't.
Okay.
And someone has to permit it. A lot of times they're having to tear it out to get the inspections made.
Okay, so final question, where do you obtain the permit or more information about the process?
For the City of Greensboro, 300 West Washington Street Development Services. You can call us and we'll be happy to answer any questions or you can come see us.
Okay, well Pat, thank you. This has been really great information, great answers to very important questions, and I'm sure you have given a lot of homeowners something to think about. Please come back again and give us more tips and information about inspections.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for a little known fact about the city as we come back after the break. We'll have that in just a minute. Welcome back. One way to stay in the know is to attend a city council meeting. Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public and air live right here on the Greensboro Television Network. The next regular meetings will take place at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 2nd and May 16th in the council chambers on level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. To review the council meeting schedule, please visit greensboro-nc.gov/council meetings. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Although German and Quaker immigrants began settling in Guilford County as early as the 1740s, the legislative act establishing Greensboro was not passed until 1807. 42 acres of land were purchased, and in 1809 the county seat was officially moved to Greensboro. The original plan for the town consisted of 3 streets running east-west for 3 blocks and 3 streets running north-south for 3 blocks. The future site of Center City Park was in the northeast corner of this 1809 town plan, and Friendly Avenue was then called Gaston Street. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you what's going on in the city if you're looking for something to do this week. Now it's time to check in with Jody Stanley for a look at things to do and places to go. Jody?
Thanks, Carla. May is Bike Month, and it kicks off on Friday at 6 p.m. with the 3rd annual Downtown Greensboro Open Streets event set for Davies Street behind West Friendly Avenue and Abe Brenner Place. Ride to the event, enjoy food trucks and bike-themed vendors, learn about bicycle safety, mechanics, and more. It coincides with First Friday, so you can enjoy art, music, and a bicycling-friendly open street when you're downtown. For more information, check out the website at greensboro-nc.gov/bikemonth. On Sunday, the Downtown Greenway will host Wheels on the Greenway, a free event with music, a bike rodeo, bike fix-it stations, food for purchase, and more from 2 to 4 p.m. at Moorhead Park. Parking will be available at the Warnersville Recreation Center. Ride the Downtown Greenway to the event. All ages are welcome. For more information, check out the website downtowngreenway.org. While you're biking around this weekend, head on over to the Greensboro History Museum as the Greensboro Brass Ensemble with conductor Kiyoshi Carter will perform at 3 p.m. This free concert is part of this year's Opus schedule. Stay in the loop by becoming a fan of the Music Center. Check us out on City Arts at Facebook at facebook.com/cityarts1. Back to you, Carla.
Thank you, Jody. The City of Greensboro has 22 departments committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Financial and Administrative Services Department is made up of 2 divisions, the Financial Services Division and the Administrative Services Division. The Financial Services Division includes general accounting, payroll, collections, financial reporting, and treasury management. The Administrative Services Division includes purchasing, equipment services, and centralized contracting. Rick Lusk is the department director and serves as the chief financial officer advisor to the city manager and city council. He is responsible for planning and directing the financial affairs of the city in compliance with federal, state, and local financial laws, ordinances, and regulations. On the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO segment. Congratulations to GTN's very own Carlos Castellanos and Devin Smith. Carlos won a Telly Award for his work on Council Conversations, featuring my interview with Mayor Nancy Vaughn. Council Conversations gives residents an opportunity to hear directly from the city council members as they talk about initiatives that impact you, the residents and visitors of Greensboro. Devin Smith won a Telly Award for producing Zoning Man, where he worked with the planning department to create a comic book approach to introduce a superhero who helps residents better understand the city's zoning process. The Telly Awards is a national competition and recognizes excellence in broadcast production. This is the 3rd Telly Award for Carlos and the 1st for Devin, and the 32nd award won by GTN since 2000. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.